It is time. Game 1. Western Conference game. It is once again another traveling series. These two teams play great. Nick Green versus Zach Ellett. It's the Raiders versus the Arrows coming up next. We welcome you to the Wabash Valley Forum, the home on the Terre Haute Arrows. The Arrows went 72-10 in the regular season. Great season by Terre Haute. Let's take a look at the lineups. Miguel, Korn, Zachary, Green, and Barry out for the Raiders, and in for the game for the Arrows, it's Paul Ridgway, Bryce Wren, Zach Ellett, Tyler Wren, and Isaiah Hill. Nick Green. This used to be his home gym before he got traded. We are underway from Terre Haute. Ridgway to Ellett. Here's Zach Ellett with it. Look at the Lafayette fans in the stands. Ellett to Wren. Back to Hill. Isaiah Hill with the slam. Now, it is going to be interesting to see if the Raiders can hang out with the Arrows. Here's Miguel to Zachary. Cooper Zachary for third. For now, the Raiders have the lead. Here's Ridgway. Ridgway has the ball. Back to Hill. Here's Isaiah Hill. Back to Wren. Wren has it. Here's Cap Ellett. Zach Ellett with it. Ellett keeps it. Now it's Hill. Isaiah Hill misses the three. Zachary with the rebound. Miguel misses the two. Wren with the rebound. Here's Tyler Wren. Passing Ellett. Zach Ellett will miss the three. Carnes with the rebound. Carnes with it. Back to Green. Here's Thunder. Nick Green for three. The Raiders are up by 4. Here's Isaiah Hill. He has the ball. This would be an upset if Lafayette were to win Game 1 of this series. Bryce Wren with the ball. He is back from injury. Wren. Bryce Wren misses. Barry with the rebound. Here's Kirion Barry now. Passing Miguel. Here's Brody Miguel with it. Passing Carnes. Duke Carnes misses the three. Hill rebound. Here's Ellett again. Zach Ellett with it. Pass to Ridgway. Ridgway goes back out behind the arc. Now it's Tyler Wren to Wren again. Ellett to Ridgway. Here's Hill. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett for three. That is another guy you do not want to get hot in this series. Ellett for three. Miguel back to Zachary. Here's Cooper Zachary. Zachary to Miguel. Miguel there. Misses the two. Ridgway with the rebound. Ridgway to Hill. Here's Ellett. Ellett back to Wren. Here's Ridgway. Here's Ellett back to Ridgway. Now it's Wren. Here's Hill. Isaiah Hill to Ellett. Zach Ellett for three. Arrows up front. Fast start by the Raiders, but the Arrows are back going on offense. Barry with it once again. Back to Carnes. Carnes with it. Holds the ball. Wren covering. Duke Carnes there. Back to Zachary. Cooper Zachary for three. The Raiders retake the lead only by 1. Wren gives it to Ridgway. Here's Paul Ridgway with it. Back to Cap Ellett. Zach Ellett with it. Ellett back to Ridgway. Ridgway looks around. Back to Wren. Here's Bryce Wren. Misses the shot. Barry with the rebound. Barry with it. Here's Kirion Barry. Back to Miguel. Brody Miguel. To Green. Green gets fouled by Tyler Wren. Timeout, Lafayette. We welcome you back here to Lafayette. We are in a great game. Not back to Lafayette, but back to Terra. We are in a great game indeed. Green at the line for 2. First free throw for Nick Thunder is good. Green's second free throw is up and good. Here's Zach Ellett with it. Ellett has the ball. Vogt is out there. Julian Vogt misses the 3. Green with the rebound. Green back to Barry. Here's Zachary. Zachary to Green. Now it's Zachary again. Zachary to Magea. Here's Green. Back to Magea. Back to Barry. Barry looks for 3. Kyrion Barry misses. Here's Delp. Harvey Delp. Back to Julian Vogt. Stolen by Barry. Kyrion Barry up. Back to Zachary. Zachary to Barry. Kyrion Barry there. Back to Magea. Back to Barry. Barry has it. Looks, now Zachary. Cooper Zachary for 3. Now it's Julian Vogt. Vogt with it. Back to Wren. Tyler Wren has it. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt misses another 3. Green rebound. Here's Magea. Brody Magea with it. Bryce Wren covering Thunder. Here's Magea, back to Green, back to Magea, Brody Magea for 3. The Raiders up by 9. Here's Vogt with it. Julian Vogt has the ball. They are going to look to score. Here's Ellett, Zach Ellett for 2. Kyrion Barry with it. Barry. Covered by Bryce Wren. Time running out in the corner. Barry there. Now it's Zachary. Cooper Zachary misses the 3, and that will end the first quarter. Well, we are in upset territory. First quarter in the books. The Raiders lead the Arrows by 7. Fast start by the Raiders. Slow start by the Arrows. We will be back. Welcome back to Terre Haute, the Wabash Valley Forum. Here's Paul Oliver with it. Oliver from Green. Oliver has it. Now here's Coons back to Webster. Cam Webster has the ball. Cam Webster misses the 3. Isaiah Hill with the rebound. Hill to Delp. Here's Miller. Jahari Miller with it. Miller looks strong. Pass back to Hill. Isaiah Hill to Vogt. Back to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson. Now Julian Vogt for 3. Landon Gilliott is out there now. Gilliott to Coons. Dane Coons with it. Back to Webster. Cam Webster puts it in for 3. The Racers beat the Hawks yesterday. And how about also yesterday? We saw the Huskies beat the Solar Flares. Here's Julian Vogt with it. This game 1 of the day. Vogt to Hill. Isaiah Hill misses the 3. Gillian with it. Back to Webster. Later on tonight, we will be going to Plainfield. Here's Webster. Webster there to Green. Thunder for 2. The assist from Webster. Nick Green's going off here tonight. Timeout, Terre Haute. Whatever happened before the game and the planning going into this game is working for the Raiders. 9-point game. will be back to Terre Haute. Zachary is going out there. Nick Green's first half is outstanding for the Arrows. Not for the Arrows, but for the Raiders. Now, here we go. Arrows ball. Here's Miller. Miller to Vogt. Here's Julian Vogt with it. Vogt with it, keeping it himself. Back to Ridgway. Paul Ridgway for three. Remember, this Arrows team is really good when it comes to three-pointers. They can hit those. Green is out there as well for the Raiders. Here's Zachary. Zachary looks inside the paint. Misses. Hill with the rebound. Back to Miller. Jahari Miller has the ball. Miller to Ridgway. Back to Miller. Here's Isaiah Hill. Hill goes up for two. He will score. Zachary back to Oliver. Paul Oliver with the ball now. Oliver back to Zachary. Zachary for three. He will miss it. Hill with the rebound. Here's Miller. Jahari Miller for two. 2-point game in Terre Haute. The Arrows are coming back. Timeout Lafayette. And we welcome you back here to Evansville. To Terre. I don't know why I keep on saying the wrong team, like the wrong team names. Not team names, but the wrong team stadiums. Zach Ellett is back into the game for the Arrows. Lafayette is up by two, though. Again, to Green, here's Carnes. Dane Carnes will miss. Here's Vogt, back to Ridgway. Ridgway to Ellett. Zach Ellett for three in the lead. Arrows back up by one. Here's Miguel, back to Coons. Coons with it, back to Zachary. Zachary misses the three. Hill with the rebound. Hill back to Ridgway. Ridgway has the ball. Ridgway goes up. Misses the two. Here's Zachary. Zachary has the ball. Back to Miguel. Miguel with it. Covered by Vogt. Brody Miguel. Back to Carnes. Duke Carnes. Back to Zachary. Zachary with it. Here's Zachary again. Looks strong, up for two. Raiders back up by one. Here's Zach Ellett. He has the ball. Timeout, Terre Haute. They are down by one. Welcome back here to Lafayette. No, not Lafayette, to Terre Haute. Man, I'm not doing it right. Man, I'm not doing it well. Diallo with it. Diallo is out there for the Raiders. Delp is back into the game, though, for the Arrows. Back live from the Wabash Valley Forum. Delp back to Ellett. Here's Zach Ellett to Julian Boat. Now it's Wren. Bryce Wren drains the big-time three. They're up by 2. Here's McGea. Brody McGea back to Diallo. Diallo to Zachary. Zachary will miss the 3. It's Delp with the rebound. Here's Ridgeway. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett for 3. Arrows pulling back away. McGea with the ball. McGea back to Zachary. Zachary has the ball. Zachary for 2. The Arrows really good. Their offense have been really good. Here's Boat back to Ellett. Zach Ellett missing the 2. Diallo back to Zachary. Zachary up. Big time miss. Delp back to Ellett. And the dunk no good. Here's Diallo. Diallo to Carnes, now to McGea. Brody McGea with it. Back to Diallo, now it's Carnes. Duke Carnes with it. Carnes loses the ball. Ellett with the rebound. Here is Delp. Back to Ellett. Here's Wren again. Bryce Wren looks for 3. Missing the 3. Diallo there. And by 3, the Arrows are leading in halftime. Let's go to the Nova Rain halftime show. Welcome to the Nova Rain halftime show. Really good game indeed. You see the bracket behind you, but now take a look at this game. Lafayette, early in this one, was able to pull out in front and have a great game. Now, back to the bracket. Centerton and the Evansville Huskies both won their first game. This game, Arrows, Raiders, really good game. Who is definitely going to win this game? Ellett and Zachary are your top performers here tonight. Let's send it back out to the Wabash Valley Forum. We are back live from the Wabash Valley Forum in Terre Haute, Indiana. Only one Terre Haute team remains. Arrow fans are on their feet. Look at the Raider fans as well. Let's take a look at Zach Ellett tonight. He has been great with 3s. He's only made a couple inside the paint shots, but his 3-pointers have been on point. Back live from Terre Haute. Green will give it to McGea. Second half is underway. McGea with the ball. Goes in. Covered by Ridgeway. McGea for 2. 1-point game. Ridgeway's out there, then it's Wren, Hill, Ellett, and Tyler Wren. Ridgeway to cap Ellett. Ellett has the ball. Looks for 3. Missing. Hill tips it. Almost gets it back. Here's McGea. McGea with it to Green. Nick Green will miss. Ellett with the rebound. Now Isaiah Hill back to Ridgeway for 2. All Ridgeway for 2. Now here is Barry. Barry looks. Back to Zachary. Zachary back to Barry. Barry to Zachary. Cooper Zachary for 3. It's a foul on Green. And the 3 will count. Zachary for 3. We are tied up at 31. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway to Ellett. Back to Wren. It's Tyler Wren with it. Wren. Back to Ellett. Ellett looks. Covered by Zachary. Ellett will miss. Zachary with the rebound. Remember, folks, it will take just a little bit for the momentum to shift to Terre Haute, and they will destroy Lafayette. Cooper Zachary for three. Yeah, I could say the same thing about Lafayette, but remember, they went up big in the first quarter, but Terre Haute came back. Arrows down by 3. Timeout, Terre Haute. Back live here from Terre Haute. The Arrows look really good, same as the Raiders. Two really good teams going at it. It's a 3-point game for the Raiders. Now, Isaiah Hill has the ball here. Hill back to Ridgeway. Ridgeway with it. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett for 3. Game is tied at 34. Barry with the rebound. Barry with the ball. Back to Magea. Brody Magea with the ball now. Here's Magea. Looks back to Zachary. Zachary has it. Pass to Magea. Brody Magea for 2. Magea has been really good. Now here's Paul Ridgeway. Ridgeway has the ball. Back to Hill. Hill to Ellett. Now it's Red. Now it's Cap again. Zach Ellett with the ball. Zach Ellett missing the 3. It's Barnes with the rebound. Barnes to Green. Back out to Barry. Barry to Magea. Here's Magea going up for 2. He will make the 2-pointer. 4-point game. Paul Ridgeway with it. Ridgeway. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett. Missing the 3 again. It's Barry with the rebound. Barry for 2. Can't make it. Hill with the rebound. Zachary looks around. Here's Tyler Wren. Tyler Wren with it. Back to Hill. Isaiah Hill for 2. 2-point game again. Here's Barry. Kyrion Barry has it. Covered by Hill. Magea looks, missing the 3. Wren with the rebound. Look at Thunder covering Wren. Now it's Bryce Wren now. Bryce Wren there. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett missing the 3. Had a chance to retake the lead. Here's Barry again. Barry to Magea now. Magea looks. Steps back, runs around, keeps the ball for 2, missing, Wren, rebound, Tyler Wren now, back to Hill, Hill drops it, Barry picks it up, here's Green, Green to Carnes, Carnes will miss, Ridgeway gets the rebound, Ridgeway back to Tyler Wren, Wren getting covered there, Green covering Hill, Ridgeway missing the 3. Green jumps and gets the rebound. Here's Thunder. Green with the ball. Pass it back to Barry. Kyrion Barry missing the 3. Ellett with the rebound. Here's Zach Ellett now. Ellett looks, goes up. Back to Hill. I think Ellett should have taken it there like he does there. Magea with the foul. And at the line for 2, it's going to be Cap Ellett. Zach Ellett at the line, shooting 2. First free throw for Zach Ellett here tonight for the Arrows. is made. 1-point game into the game for the Raiders. Paul Oliver, Cam Webster, and Landon Gilliott. Now into the game for the Arrows. Bo Miller, and I couldn't tell who that. Oh yeah, it's Delp. Zach Ellett, second free throw is good. We are tied up at 38. Cam Webster with it, covered by Ellett. Webster there, looks, steps back for three. Missing the three. Hill with the rebound. Hill takes it back. Isaiah Hill missing the three. It's Webster gets the rebound. Webster pass to Oliver. Paul Oliver back to Webster for two. He will make the two. Delp back to Cap. Here's Zach Ellett. Ellett looks. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt for three. And the Arrows are back in front by one. Webster takes it himself. Covered now by the defense. Here is Webster. Cam Webster missing the three. Hill with the rebound. Hill from deep. Can't make it. 41-40 is a score after three. The Arrows fight back. It's a dogfight here in Terre Haute. Back live from Terre Haute, the Wabash Valley Forum. Let's take a look at the assist of the game. Rice Wren, the pass to Hill with the slam. Fourth quarter is here, and we are underway in the fourth. Vogt with the ball. Vogt gives it to Delp. Harvey Delp with it. Goes in, loses the ball. It's going to be Lafayette basketball. He quickly loses it. Now it will be Raider ball. Diallo back to Oliver. Here's Paul Oliver. Covered by Vogt. Oliver back to Zachary. Cooper Zachary there for three. Misses it. Delp with the rebound. Delp to Ridgeway. Ridgeway for two. Arrows up by three. And Ridgeway also ran into a camera guy. Here's Oliver. Back to Carnes. Carnes to Zachary, back to Oliver. Oliver there, covered by Vogt. Oliver is strong. Look at Paul Oliver. Back to Carnes. Carnes looks. Goes up, missing the two. Rebound. Here's Ridgeway. Now Julian Vogt missing the three. Diallo with the rebound there. Diallo back to Zachary. Cooper Zachary to Oliver. Covered by Vogt. Now here's Cooper Zachary again. Now Duke Carnes missing the three. Ridgeway rebound. Ridgeway has it. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt with it. Vogt has the ball. Back to Delp. Harvey Delp goes up, almost goes out of bounds. Ridgeway's Ring. Bryce Ring will miss the three. Paul Oliver with the rebound. Oliver there. Now here's Oliver again. Oliver with it. Oliver to Zachary. Cooper Zachary with it. Zachary goes up, and he will miss. Gets the rebound back. Zachary will miss again. It's Miller with the rebound. Back to Ridgeway. Pass to Vogt. Vogt looks to throw. Looks to pass again. Keeps it himself. Can't put it in for two. Zachary with the rebound. Here's Paul Oliver again. Oliver looks. Now Oliver turns. Keeps it himself. Going up. Missing the two. Vogt with the rebound. Time continues to run out. Ring. Rebound. Missing. Delp for two. 5-point game now for the Arrows. Oliver has the ball. Timeout Lafayette. The Arrows are up by 5. Here we go. Lafayette has the ball now. It is timeout by Lafayette. Here we go again. The Raiders down by 5. The starters are back out there. Here's Barry. Barry. He's going to give it to Thunder. Here's Nick Green. Back to Magea. Magea back to Zachary. Cooper Zachary for 3. Big time 3 by Zachary. Wren giving it to Ridgeway. Ridgeway back to Ellett. Zach Ellett with the ball. Ellett for 3. Missing it. Tipped by Barry and Hill, but it is still Raiders ball. Horns. Magea. Magea looks. Back to Zachary. Zachary has the ball. Zachary for the lead. No good. Hill with the rebound. Hill back to Ellett. Ellett to Hill for 2. Missing. Barnes rebound. Barnes back to Green. Here's Green. Now it's Magea with it. Ronan Magea looks for 2. Game time at 45. 2 minutes left. Ridgeway has the ball. Ridgeway to Wren. Rice Wren for 2. Arrows are back in front. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Magea has the ball. Keeps it himself. Covered by Ridgeway. Magea for 2. He will miss. Rebound by Ellett. Zach Ellett with the ball. Back to Ridgeway. Here's Wren. Tyler Wren for 2. 4-point game. Here's Magea with it. Brody Magea has the ball. Magea looks. Fouled by Ridgeway. Ridgeway is smiling as the crowd is roaring. They are booing Ridgeway. Here we go. First free throw for Brody Magea is up and good. Second free throw on the way by Brody Magea. Second free throw by Brody Magea. He looks, and it's good. Wren to Ridgeway. Here's Paul Ridgeway. Ridgeway has it. Pass to Hill. Hill for 2. Big time 2-pointer by the Arrows. Here's Magea. He has it. Ridgeway covering. Magea looks. Going in. Now it's Carnes. Missing the 3. Tipped. Out of bounds. Lafayette basketball. 55 seconds left. Barry, quick pass to Magea. Magea goes in. Back to Zachary. Zachary for 3. It's a 1-point game. Now here's Zach Ellett. Ellett has the ball. He looks. Goes in for 2. He drains the 2-pointer. Timeout Lafayette. 40 seconds left in this one. Raiders with the ball. No, yeah, Raiders will have the ball. 40 seconds left here in Terre Haute. Really good game we are seeing here tonight. Here this afternoon. Coming up later tonight, Plainfield will take action at home. Here's Magea. Brody Magea has the ball. Back to Zachary. Tie game. Timeout, Terre Haute. The Arrows call a timeout with 29 seconds left in this one. Yeah, folks, it's going to be a really good game as we finish this one. How about DJ Encore, number 50, on the Raiders? He still hasn't been in the game yet, and he probably won't be in. It is a really good game, really fun one indeed. Arrows and Raiders are tied. Zach Ellett has looked really good. Thunder as well. Now, here we go. Once again from Terre Haute. Huskies lead the series on the Solar Flares. That was the game from yesterday. Ertl had 13 points. Kenneth Langfley had 20 points for the Solar Flares. Here's Wren. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett there. Back to Wren. Tyler Wren to Bryce Wren. Now it's Ridgeway. Ridgeway has the ball. Keeps it himself. Now it's Isaiah Hill. Hill to Ridgeway. Time running out. Zach Ellett. Clutch once again. Timeout, Raiders. Nice slow walk to the sideline by Zach Ellett. He is clutch. He's been clutch many times before. And tonight he's been that as well. We are back from the Wabash Valley Forum. The Arrows lead it by 3. Arrow fans are on their feet. 10.8 left in the game. Now, here we go. Who are they going to trust and shoot a 3? They better trust Zachary. Duke Carnes missing the 3. Ridgeway to Ellett. And it's going to be a timeout by the Arrows. Arrows call a timeout. The 3-pointer missed by the Raiders. 56-53. Now, back from Terre Haute. 6 seconds left in this one. 6.6 left. The Raiders down by 3. I don't think they have a chance to win it. Hill to Ridgeway. Ridgeway will get fouled. 5.9 is left in the game.
At the line for 2.
No timeouts left for both teams. After both free throws, Lafayette has to get it in and quickly get a 3. Here is Ridgeway. Home Ridgeway makes the first free throw. They are up by 4. 5.9 left. Arrows up by 4. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway makes the other free throw. Green. Back to Barry. Barry quickly there. Back to Carnes. Carnes missing the 3. And the Arrows take game 1 against the Raiders. After a hard-fought game and a go-ahead 3-pointer by Cap, the Arrows hang on and win game 1 against Nick Green and the Lafayette Raiders. Green was good here today. Zach Ellett is, of course, the QAS player of the game. multiple threes, even the go-ahead three-pointer. Arrow struggled big time tonight, but they were able to hang on with clutch plays by this man. Raiders down 1-0 in the series.